Well, today, two U.S. credit rating agencies, S&P, of course, and Fitch, both downgraded Great Britain's credit rating. Now, let me tell you something about these credit rating agencies, and I could throw Moody's in there as well. The three of them, S&P, Fitch, and Moody's, are the most insular, corrupt organizations in all of finance, and that says a lot because finance is pretty corrupt. I've had a personal situation with S&P because I worked there for about a year from 2000 to 2001, but I'm not going to tell that story here. That's a story for another video. Prior to the downgrade of the U.S. credit rating in 2011, I was saying for a long time that the credit rating agencies would eventually downgrade U.S. credit, not because they understood anything about sovereign money and floating FX, but because they were absolutely 100% clueless, okay? But I knew that they were going to do it just because they were really, really stupid when it came to understanding that a sovereign currency issuing nation like the United States that has all of its liabilities denominated in its own currency, the US dollar, can never have an issue with solvency or an inability to meet its obligations based in its own currency. It's impossible. It could never be called into an involuntary default. Never. But yet S&P, and by the way, prior to the actual downgrade, I had been telling people that if that ever happens, and I said it would happen, you should buy treasuries like crazy because a lot of not a lot, but the 100%, the people I'm talking about, everyone else out there, they all thought we get our money from China or Japan or some other place. And so when the downgrade came, everyone, including all the big shots on Wall Street and the big name economists, were predicting interest rates to spike. I was the only one, really. And I was on TV that day, the day of the downgrade, going crazy, just pounding the table saying, you got to buy stocks, you got to buy treasuries. That was a great call on both of those things. So S&P goes and downgrades Great Britain today for the same completely clueless, idiotic reason, which is they just do not understand sovereign money and floating FX. There is no way ever that Great Britain would have a problem meeting its obligations, all of which are denominated in the British pound. Now, if you want to talk about maybe the pound loses some value in terms of its foreign exchange value, that's a separate discussion. That is not a default, okay? That is not a default. Yet these idiots, and by the way, let us not forget that these are the same credit rating agencies that rated all of that subprime crap that blew up back in 2007 and 2008. They rated all that stuff AAA. And by the way, just as a little tease to that personal story, I'm going to tell you one day I worked at the structured finance division of Standard & Poor's back in 2000 and 2001. So one of these days I'll make a video and I'll tell you what happened there because it's a very eye-opening story. Anyway, these idiots are there. This is another reason why I like what's going on right now, because if you really see what's happening, if you see the hysteria being drummed up and who is, driving that, the mainstream media, all owned by the elites themselves, okay? Big finance, capital, all of the people, and then the clueless morons who got everything wrong. So when you see where it's coming from, I mean, it encourages me that I think I'm going to be right buying down here. And then you see actions like this where just out of left field, S&P decides to downgrade the credit rating of Britain today. Why? Are they going to have are they going to run out of British pounds? It's absurd. These people are absolute fucking idiots. And I could say that not just as an observer. I was there. I was inside that place. I know what goes on. Okay? So I see things like this, a credit downgrade for absolutely no reason, based on zero understanding. Zero understanding. And I see who's pushing the whole fear-mongering campaign. And I see who's saying, it's going to be the worst recession in our lifetime. Okay, Clown Rogers. It makes me feel pretty comfortable with my position. Think about it.